Hey Internet, Eric here. It's been a while since I've done a video, and it's been even longer since I've done a Have You Ever Seen video. And what that is Have You Ever Seen is where I try to take a film that, at least in my circle of friends or people I talk to on a regular basis, movie-wise in social media, don't really talk about, except for me. And I try to use these videos as like a spotlight to get these films out. Maybe find someone who could, really enjoy this. I've done it for Freaked. I've done it for 13 Sins, a bunch of other films, and it doesn't come to mind because I haven't done one of these in a long time. Tonight, I think I'm gonna do the most obscure one so far. Like I'm sure more people have heard of Freaked than tonight's or today's, whenever you're watching this subject. Today, I'm going to talk about from 1993, Frankenstein, but it's Frankenstein starring Patrick Bergin and Randy Quaid, the TNT made-for-television movie. Yes, it exists. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, all that crap. Um, like I said, this is Frankenstein. Okay, we all know the basic story of Frankenstein. I saw this when it first premiered on TNT back in '93, and I've enjoyed it ever since. It's one of those or it was one of those hard to find movies because it was made for TV. For the longest time, it was on just VHS, and that VHS was long out of print. And if you subscribe to Jennifer Tochi here on YouTube, I gave her my VHS copy because she needed some VHS tapes and stuff and all that. Because I was finally able to upgrade to DVD because Warner Archives now has this made on demand feature, and this is how I was able to come across the DVD. Anyways, it's Frankenstein. First off, Patrick Bergin as is it Bergin or Bergen? I don't know. As Dr. Frankenstein is great. I love how he's so consumed by his work in this movie and the torment and what it has caused him to go through, his family and everything, because of what the monster has done. Really, really good. He's got some intense eyes. I only really know him from Sleeping with the Enemy with Julia Roberts, and he's really good in that, and he's really good in this. Who else? The only other person of notoriety, I guess you would say, would be Randy Quaid, and he plays the monster. And bear with me, we all know Randy Quaid as like the dumb pumpkin, the vacation movies, Independence Day, stuff like that. He is really, really good in this as the monster. Um, he does a really good job of being scary. Look at him now. He is able to do, put some fear into you. But he's also really good during like the sympathetic scenes. I love when he's first born and he's walking around town naked and he finds some clothes and everything and he tries to meet people. And of course the people are afraid of him. Like he gets stabbed by somebody and you see the pain in his eyes and stuff like that. The relationship he has with the blind man. It's a really good friendship bond made by Lacey, the blind man, and the monster. And the scene where Lacey has to take the monster basically down the road and say, they're hunting you. They're going to hunt you until you're dead, and they know you were here, so you need to get away. That separation scene is very, very sad, based on the actor who plays Lacey, fantastic in this movie, and the way Randy acts as well. Just sympathetic, loving, but he's also very, it's a very sad scene, and you buy it. And then when Randy, as the monster, goes totally ape shit towards the end of the film, when he's, attacking Victor's now wife, they got married, and the family members, and when he attacks at the wedding party, it's truly terrifying. And he's really good in this. I've never read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but I know in the book it is not. I don't think it's. I don't know if it's robbing graves and stuff like that, and the lightning, and it's alive, like we've seen in the movie from the '30s. This one is a little different. I don't know if you can really see it, but Victor has created like a cloning tub full of some type of liquid, and you can see here he has put his arm in between these two like electrical posts, and he's able to recreate body parts. So that's how he creates the Frankenstein monster. And I like how in this film they have like not just a mental bond, but a physical bond. Like when there's a scene where the Frankenstein monster gets shot, and Victor wakes up. He gets hurt in the chest. He gets a pain, and he's got a bruise there. So that's really cool. Like the little. I know some people might think it's stupid, kind of like the Corsican brothers or something like that. I really enjoyed it, and I want to say this: when Patrick and Randy are on screen together, their chemistry is so good. The determination Patrick gives of wanting to kill the monster because the monster has caused all this trouble and all this sadness and grief and murder and what have you. And the monster saying, why did you make me like this? You deserted me. All this, they're so good with their hatred for each other. I mean, the movie starts out really great. It starts out in like the Arctic, and it's sled dogs, and the monster's like chasing, whipping at his dogs, chasing Frankenstein. And Frankenstein is telling the story, and it's just so intense. The intensity is in this movie is really good. Also hyping by the score. The score is so good in this. The orchestral score during like all the intense scenes, it really pumps up. I don't want to just say it pumps up the drama, but it pumps up how that the shit's about to hit the fan, and it's done really, really well. It's kind of like what they say about the original Halloween. The score makes it more scary, makes it more intense, and I love it. I'm surprised there is quite a bit of gore in this movie, especially for a 1993 like made for television movie, because there's a scene where we all know, at least I know what happens in the book, and we have the Bride of Frankenstein. After the monster, he's caused some deaths in Victor's family. He says, "I'll leave you alone, but you need to make me a bride so I don't have to be alone." So Victor is going to make a bride, through his fiancée Elizabeth, and we see it starting to get born in the tub and everything, but the pain she's going through is too intense, and you see the monster, watching from like the rooftop or whatever, and Victor can't bear to put her through any more pain. So he shuts it off midway through, and we see the body parts and the gore and the blood and all that stuff like just getting washed down the drain. Pretty disgusting. And then that causes a great scene where the monster breaks in and wreaks havoc. So there's some decent gore in this from that. There's all and we get some people impaled to walls and stuff like that, which is a really cool reveal when you see that happen. What else? Again, some really the monster is sympathetic here. There's so many scenes like we have a nod to the girl being thrown into the lake, but this time the monster rescues her after she falls in, tries to he saves her, and what happens? The town people, again afraid, shoot him. So he starts hating humanity because he's looked on as a monster. And again, the way Randy Quaid does it, fantastic, so good. And I love the ending. The ending I won't spoil. We end up back at the Arctic because, like I said, Frankenstein is telling his story to a group of people that have found him on the ice. And the way it ends, for me, I think is a perfect ending for this movie. It based on the tragedies that have happened in this film with everyone involved, perfect way to end it. And I don't want to spoil it because I don't know if it happens in the book or not. It's not the way it ends in the 1930s version, but really, really great ending. Set design is great. This takes place in the 19th century, it says. The set design of Victorian England is so good. I was going to say pirate ship, but the ship that Victor ends up being on where he's telling his story is really great. The set of when they're in Antarctica and the ice is breaking, so great. There's so much effort was put into this movie. And it's sad that not a lot of people know about this. I introduced Frenzy to this, over a year or so ago, and he knows more movies than I do, and he had never heard about this. And he's probably like Randy Quaid's like #1 fan, and he had no idea that this existed. Strange Monkey, I told him about this. Get on this. $10 at Amazon, totally worth it. Or you can rent it on Amazon Prime, whatever. But I'm a physical copy guy, so now I can watch it all the time. But highly, highly recommended. Great performances, great score, intense scenes. Again, can't praise Randy Quaid enough. Forget him as Cousin Eddie. He is so good in this. beginning to end. Sympathetic, scary, menacing, whatever other description you want to use, open up a thesaurus for anything like that. That's Randy Quaid here. Patrick as Dr. Frankenstein is great. And again, the side characters, I guess the girl who plays Elizabeth is just kind of, eh. The guy who plays the younger brother to Victor is, kind of wimpy, but it's back then when men weren't really men. You know what I mean? But overall, highly, highly recommend. If you can find a way to watch this, do it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So, and hopefully, if you enjoy it, spread the word because this movie needs an audience. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Click the bell. Comment below. Any of that crap that everyone says at the end of all these videos. Don't know how else to end this other than watch Frankenstein and spread the word. Cheers.